Nabhasparsham Deeptam. Touch the sky with glory. The motto of the Indian Air Force, taken from the 11th chapter of Gita, the discourse given by Lord Krishna to Arjuna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra in the great war of Mahabharata. The Lord is showing his supreme divine form, evoking fear and loss of self-control in the mind of Arjuna. Similar to that is the ambitions of the Indian Air Force as they seek to overwhelm their adversaries with application of aerospace power in the defense of the nation. On Indian Air Force Day 2023, on behalf of the entire team here at StudyIQ IAS English, our best wishes to each of our audience watching this video. Now, before I take you forward, here are a few questions that I have for you. Number 1, why do you think that 8th of October is celebrated as the Air Force Day in India? Are there any other days that are of relevance in this discussion? Well, that's going to be the central thrust of this discussion, as we'll seek to understand the relevance of 8th October in the history, the rich history and the glorious traditions of the Indian Air Force. But before I take you forward, my dear friends, well, this is where you can connect with me on Telegram. Go ahead and scan this barcode, and well, if you have any particular messages, any particular applications, any particular bouquets and brickbats, in fact, well, you can go ahead and share all of that individually with me on my Telegram channel. Right. So first, well, let's go ahead and understand the relevance of another date in the history of the Indian Air Force, the 7th of September. Now, I'm taking you right at the formation, the genesis of the Air Force in India. So you had this keen committee that firstly went ahead and recommended the formation of the Indian Air Force. And thus, 5 candidates were selected to undergo training at the Royal Air Force Academy in Cranwell, United Kingdom. Bear in mind, one of them eventually goes on to become the Chief of the Indian Air Force, in fact being the first Indian to do so. The 5 individuals: Subrata Mukherjee, who went on to become the first Air Chief; W.E. Tanner, H. Sarkar, Bhupendra Singh, Amarjeet Singh and A.B. Awan. Now, these individuals are undergoing training at RAF Cranwell and eventually complete their course on 20th of July 1932. So, the question so arises, should we consider these 2 dates as potential Indian Air Force days? After all, this is where the genesis, the story of Indian Air Force so develops. Well, stand by, because well then we have another contender, the 15th of August in the Indian Air Force's history. Now, what is the relevance of this particular day? So these particular 5 officers who were undergoing training at RAF Cranwell, they proceed to go on a short leave before they are asked to join at their particular visiting bases. The commissioning of these 5 officers implemented antedate from 15th of August 1932. Right? So, well, little did they know, of course, that this date will have significance not just for them, but for the entire country just 15 years later. However, does 15th of August also become a day of reckoning insofar as the IAF's rich history is concerned? Again, we have another contender, the 1st of April. Right? So, what is the significance of 1st of April? Well, these 5 pilots that had graduated from RAF Cranwell, now they are continuing to fly with RAF units. Bear in mind, at this particular time, the Indian Air Force as a body has not come into existence. Even the Indians are going ahead and fighting the wars of the Royal Air Force. Yes, they are given a very flimsy aircraft, which the British, by the way, used to call as what a pity. Eventually, you have these particular officers go ahead and form the nucleus of the 1st Squadron of the Indian Air Force, born on the 1st of April 1933. So what you find is that from 1933 up until at least 1976, the 1st of April is celebrated as the Air Force Day across the country. Right? So, marked as Air Force Day, the reasoning being that our 1st Squadron of the Indian Air Force came into being, originated on this particular day. But now let's understand the significance of today, the 8th of October. What exactly does this day mean for the Indian Air Force? Well, 43 years later, now our story has proceeded to 1976. And this is where we find that October 8th is now chosen as the date wherein the Indian Air Force Day will be celebrated. And what's the reason? Well, this was the day the Governor General approved the act governing the Indian Air Force and its personnel. Right? So this is the reason why you have that October 8 is celebrated as Air Force Day across the country. But well, the question that I have for you is that eventually you do have many other dates that could be possible contenders to honor the rich legacy and traditions of the Indian Air Force. Let me know your thoughts in the comment box. Or are you proposing a new date if you have any other information about the glorious history of the Indian Air Force? Right? So before I take your leave, my dear friends, well, I have two questions for you because, well, what's the fun without solving any questions? Right? So here is the first question that I have for you. The IAF motto, Nabha Sparsham Deeptam, owes its origin to which of the following? Garud Puran, Valmiki Ramayan, Bhagavad Gita, or the Mundaka Upanishad? If you go ahead and rewind the discussion just to the beginnings, you will have the answer to this question. And my second question for you is, which of the following committee is or are related to the defense of British in India? In fact, British India. Option 1, Stretchy Committee. Option 2, Skene Committee, Sargent Plan, or Rayleigh Committee. Once again, I implore you to go ahead and leave your answers for me in the comment box below. And if you enjoyed this discussion, more importantly, go ahead and leave me a like. Share your thoughts with me in the comment box. If there's any other videos that you would like to watch of this particular genre, go ahead and let me know that too. Right? Before I take forward and take your leave, my friends, do make sure to check out this particular video too with the title Nabhasparsham Deeptam, the official motto of the Indian Air Force, wherein we go ahead and celebrate the enduring legacy of some of those individuals who have made the supreme sacrifice and made their indomitable contributions to protect the sovereignty of the Republic of India. On that note, it's a wrap from all of us here at StudyIQ IAS English, but not before. Once again, I wish all my audience a very happy Air Force Day 2023, and also our best wishes to the families of our airmen and airwomen, without whom this particular legacy would not be formed and would not be justified. Thanks for watching. Bye.